Okay, so this is ROCKFLESH.com coming from Damnation in Manchester, and to be specific, it's the night of salvation, the night before Christmas, as it were, for Damnation. I've got a couple of the guys from Ithaca with me. They're yet to take to the stage. Ooh. So is it a kind of nervous moments before going on, or do you just kind of get excited?
I don't tend to get too nervous. I know you.
I've got severe ADHD, so I just want to get playing. I'm just like, you know. But yeah. No, it's pretty good. It's really fun.
You're one of these drummers that's just constantly.
Yeah, I'm just fidgeting anyway. Yeah, so
yeah, exactly. Nice.
You sit in the corner with your headphones in, just like doing that for a while.
Brilliant, brilliant. So, yeah, you've managed to bag this basically festival slot.
Yeah.
On the back, I guess, of an absolutely superb new album.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, back end of July came out, didn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, do you want to tell us a little about the process behind that? Because I know it's kind of, I think it's a more...
I mean, there's a long story.
I was going to say, yeah, it's
a bullet point.
Well, we started writing it pre-pandemic, and then it really slowed down. Like the only times we could ever really do stuff were a couple of times over...
in between lockdowns.
Yeah, we'd get together and go writing at the seaside. We'd get together and, spend a whole weekend just like basically drinking and writing and playing board games and stuff.
Because there was a lot of it kind of like remote thing, like people doing bits and bobs and pieces together.
We can't write on Zoom. It just doesn't work.
No, we didn't.
For us anyway.
But we shifted to kind of dropping a little bit. I'd write a drum beat, send that to Sam. Sam would go, okay, cool, yeah, and then come back with the guitar and maybe change the drums a little bit, and it was just kind of like a bit more of a sharing of ideas, but then kind of blossomed into the album, which was nice actually. And we all trust each other, so it's like everything we do, we kind of like give it time, give it space. So
until we booked it in, and then the month beforehand was chaos, where we were just like, we need to finish this.
Do this.
And some of the vocals weren't written before we and it's like,
we go for we're going to book the studio time. Even though we're not quite ready, but that's like the fire under your ass to sort of finish.
That deadline to get to finish line. Exactly. Brilliant. So, I mean, I guess it kind of fits in with that. With regards to anyone who doesn't know Ithaca, I think a massively diverse range of sounds. I would say a lot of influences,
especially in comparison to the first album. I think.
Yeah.
I think we wanted to broaden out a little bit more, a lot more.
I actually think it's more cohesive, though. In fact, so maybe I think it's drawing on more areas.
But we still want that thing where, and we had it on the Language of Injury, where you can kind of finish. It's neither are very long albums, and you can kind of get to the end, and there's links back to the first song, same chord usages, same melody patterns, and it's the same on this one.
Yeah.
So hopefully it still sounds like a full body of work, even though by the end we're basically doing like disco.
Yeah, no, of course, but it's drawing on. We have like an eclectic mix of influences, and Sam's a big driver, Mills is a big driver of that, and maybe we're just more comfortable doing things that we kind of bringing in those sounds that we really enjoy, and maybe we like pushed them away during our first album, and we were like, we're going to write some hardcore. Obviously it's like melodic and what have you, but I think this time around we were like, no, we spend our days listening to pop, and we listen to jazz and like
neo soul. Some heavy riffs, and we got that.
Oh yeah.
We want to,
just like and it's just really fun and comfortable and interesting.
Yeah. I think probably one of the best things, one of the best ways, the only way to describe you guys really is, I guess, the first album is very much kind of melodic hardcore, post-hardcore, etc. And then second album's Ithaca. That's the sound, and it sounds like you, and it's one of the things I always, anyone who knows me knows that when I say like a good band is a band, when you hear them you go, well, that's that band, that's them.
I mean, that's a huge compliment as well.
That's kind of how we feel about it too, I think.
I think, for sure. No, you're right. Like it's been,
and we're just so happy it's been released.
Of course,
and received so nicely, because we're only going to get weirder and weirder, hopefully.
Okay, you like that, did you? Let's keep going. Because you're saying it sounds like us. That's quite nice. Because obviously that we put a lot of ourselves into it, kind of like open-chested. Like, this is us. This is what we enjoy, and then to have good feedback is like, so lovely.
And it's still a bit weird because you're writing it sort of like completely removed. There's been no concerts for 2 years, and you're kind of just like, are people gonna think this is rubbish?
Difficult to know, isn't it?
Is this gonna be, what have they been doing? They've just been like living inside their own heads for 2 years. I guess everyone has. But,
it's difficult to kind of do that testing, isn't it?
Yeah, because there was a lot of new music being released, it was kind of like, oh, a bit weird and
Yeah, I mean, one thing as well, because we worked with Lewis Johns this time around at the Ranch, and I think from before, day zero he got the album from the demos and was just really excited.
Yes.
And obviously such a
fantastic
producer.
Yeah.
And just like came in when it was good to have suggestions and leaned back when he saw the things that we really loved and wanted to keep. And I think that just sewed it all together, you know, and allows the album to be kind of cohesive.
Do you think in a way almost you were quite lucky with regards to none of us were lucky with regards to the pandemic, obviously, but I mean with regards to the manner in which it afforded you maybe the opportunity to write an album rather than do what we've spoken with a lot of bands saying that they don't even really necessarily think about the concept of an album now because they're kind of almost drop in tracks as soon as they can, whereas, you know,
I guess
this
in terms
album
of cycles, it came at roughly the right time because we were ready to write.
Yeah, I think
clutching at straws.
I mean,
for
at the time it was gross because we were actually on tour when it all happened. And we had to like do a.
Were you in Denmark?
Yeah.
Was it? Yeah. Which of all the places?
Yeah.
Got cancelled straight away, like the show that we were playing that night, and then we had to just drive back in this like crazy. Just, we didn't know if the borders were going to close at that point.
Yeah, exactly.
My take is that I would have rather had those 2 years not be COVID. And
I'll give you that.
Be on tour and be having fun.
Yeah.
Than say, well, you did a good album, partly maybe because of COVID. I'm like, maybe I'm still like, I wish that didn't happen.
No, exactly. Exactly. I think I'm looking for maybe a silver lining on a real.
Yeah,
you know,
it's just
But and I think one of the things that you see it when you guys play live, you see it on the album, like as you say, wearing your hearts on your sleeves, the themes that matter to you, obviously very personal. And kind of themes and aspects and stuff in your music. Do you think that? I mean, I think this album you can see it a lot more in the writing. Obviously, you can see it live. Is that something you're mindful of when you're performing live? In fact, that you're it's a different medium almost, isn't it? Live to recorded, and that it's kind of your opportunity at that point to get across those thoughts, messages, feelings.
Yeah. We made a decision like really early on that we wanted to be as intense as possible on stage, basically. Not just in terms of like the music we're playing, but in terms of like making eye contact with people and really just like, I don't know, presenting a bit more of like you're a different person when you're on stage.
Yeah,
I mean,
totally.
Pretty chill went off, but you put on different clothes and you go out there and you plug yourself in, there's lights and you're just like, all right, I feel 10 times bigger. And
I mean, I don't want to put words in Jamila's mouth because most of the lyrics are her. But I know that they are very heartfelt, and obviously when she was like, it's passion, and you can really feel it, I think, when you watch us live. So
definitely, it's one of those things that you can't fake. And I think one of the things is good live bands are the bands that leave it all out there and kind of.
I feel terrible after every show.
We'll look for that.
Catch me afterwards.
It's like,
pat me on the back.
The eye contact as well. Yeah, exactly. But no, I think it's one of these things about as we said, like wearing your heart on your sleeve and just being. If the band's enjoying it or the band's really intense, then that obviously reflects in the crowd and stuff. And I guess that's almost, you might say, that's the underlying current of the hardcore aspect still.
Yes.
Because you really do see that in hardcore gigs, don't you? And bands. So what sort of crowds do you like? Do you like the crowds that jump up on stage and two-step across the front, or do you prefer kind of more contemplative crowds, or I suppose just the crowd's always good, isn't it? But
movement. We call for it.
As a drummer, like you feel the energy come back in the room, and that just makes you every hit feels harder and like.
Also, we sort of like cut our teeth playing just hardcore show after hardcore show. We play a lot of weird shows as well. Grindcore shows, just straight up metal. Like house shows. People just like pushing around in kitchens. And that's the sort of. That's our bread and butter.
Of course. We want some movement.
And it must be exciting actually at the moment with bands like Pupil Slicer, etc. Because they toured with you, didn't they? And they've like rocketed right up. We saw them at Tech Fest where they were headlining the second stage, and you could see like just chatting to them around and about. It was kind of like, we can't believe we're doing this kind of thing. Like headlining the second stage. Is it still for you fellows kind of like a bit of a pinch pinch yourself moment sometimes. Being in a band and being able to do this.
Step up on stage, it is.
Yeah,
when we
big
play
stages.
like some of the we played on Tangent this summer. You step up on a stage that big and play to like over 1,000 people, like 1,500 people.
That is a
something.
pinch.
Yeah.
Okay, this feels a little bit different.
Yes, Stuart, one of our reviewers, actually said to me earlier, he's here tonight and he will be reviewing, read Stuart's review. It'll be good because he does love you. But he was saying how he almost felt like kind of there's a moment you got on stage and that went, whoa, this is happening, and then straight into it, obviously, you know. But he said it must be one of those things when it does every now and again. You wouldn't know when it would hit you.
When it hits it, really.
Even in the worst, like even in like day 5 or 6 of tour, when it's catching up with you and you feel like crap, and you know you've spent all day just like wanting to have a nap. You get on stage at like whatever o'clock and you're like, oh no, I've got all the energy now. I'm here. The adrenaline.
It's a good job with the drums. You could just turn around and like you just like face on the snare asleep. Never going to happen, is it? No, exactly. Never going to happen.
Getting old.
We're all getting old. Let's have a couple of fun questions.
Oh.
Okay. So if Ithaca were a drink, alcoholic or non-alcoholic, what drink would Ithaca be?
Something fairly flamboyant, probably.
Probably off a snake bite.
Snake bite.
It's a bit dirty, maybe.
Please,
maybe like
upscale a little bit.
flamboyant. Okay, snake bite with an umbrella.
That's my level. Snake bite, yeah.
You go full cocktail.
I was going for
cocktails.
cocktail. I would have said so. Like, I mean, look at the album cover.
Yeah,
that's true.
Excuse me.
That's true.
Go for a Cosmo.
Could be Cosmo.
something that looks very flamboyant but really
gives it a
packs
bit
a
of a
punch.
kick.
Exactly. Maybe like a Prohibition era cocktail where there's no, the mixer is more alcohol.
There's some like,
you know,
100 proof rum in there. Maybe mojito. Maybe we're a mojito.
Someone make one and name it.
Yeah, make one.
Exactly. Oh, maybe that's going to be our range now. We sell cocktails on the website. That's it. I always do a silly one. Okay, festival. If it was Ithaca Fest. Who would you put on?
Oh, that'd be awful.
1 day festival.
That'd be awful.
You can headline it.
Taste is all over.
It would be nice.
The music and the band.
Yeah, different exactly, and this is where it's really good, really interesting. You can see your influences.
Can we time travel?
You can. I mean, we spoke to the Hirsch Effect, and they called up during the interview, not literally. They pretended to call up Dillinger Escape Plan to reform. It became a little bit weird if anyone's watched that video. So anything, any period. What are you thinking, like Michael Jackson or something?
No, I'll go like peak Genesis or something because like that would be like headlining would be incredible.
Right, okay, that's a choice.
But then I'd like a Q&A with like Arsene Wenger for a bit. Do you know what I mean? So it'd be a really weird festival.
Well, that's just your stage, mate. That's good. Your curated little corner.
We may as well, if it's during the World Cup, then
there's a little like,
stage.
You know, chat.
There's only a very few bands actually in the middle of that Venn diagram.
Yes.
Like Deftones is definitely on there.
Deftones.
With Dillinger would definitely be on there. But there's a few others. But like, if we had to agree on something, it would take a long time.
We'd be more concerned with the food trucks.
That if we could curate
the food.
Wow.
That's what we care about.
Maybe I should have asked the other question I asked quite a lot of the bands at Tech Fest was if your band was a biscuit, or what's the most metal biscuit you can think of? We got some quite interesting ones from Vexed. They were quite Vexed by it, to be honest. Hobnobs. No, Hobnobs have made an appearance before. Because they're a bit gnarly, you know.
As long as it's not a rich tea.
No.
You know?
Maybe a Garibaldi.
Yes, Garibaldi's a good one.
We've hidden things in there.
We've had kind of custard creams and digestives because they can dunk and they just get back up again. It was kind of like picking someone up from the pit. It was a bit of a weird one.
Party ring. Baby.
Party rings, party rings. We're going party rings.
Party rings.
That's a good one. It's the only answer.
I like that. I like that. Cool, good. Well, they're the important questions. Really. So, got your set tonight coming up. What can we expect from you after that in the next, say, 12 months?
Well, then it's all a bit...
Give us a scoop.
Vague, because we can't really give you scoops. But this is our last show for the year. We've got... things that we can't say for next year, festivals.
Did you play like Outbreak Fest or Radar Festival or something like that?
Who could say?
You can't help it.
Until things are announced, I'm afraid we've got to keep them.
Fair enough. But
mostly we'll be playing shows, as many as we can, because it's that sort of.
We're going to push the
support
album.
stuff or another headline tour.
I think we did a headline run in the summer, so we might be looking for a
support slot would be nice.
But we'll let you know.
And also doing some writing as well.
Yes.
Because as much as it feels like it's, you know,
it's the time
very
delay and
recent,
stuff,
but like obviously we wrote a lot of the stuff a while ago.
Yeah. So it's going to take a while, I think.
So what rank order would you put writing, recording, and playing live?
Playing live right now is at the top.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're going to have some fun with this album.
Yeah. And do a lot of writing probably towards the back half of the year.
Yeah.
But we're always kind of doing it in the background.
Yeah. What's the one you like the most and least out of those three?
Recording is fun but very intense.
I hate recording.
Yeah, here we go. This is people know I always ask this question. Apart from those guys who are like producers as well, like kind of like Howard from within Destruction was kind of like, I really like it.
Yeah.
It's I was like, oh, she's a producer.
Yeah. We had a lovely time with Lewis.
Fantastic. I had a great time. It's just.
But you are just stuck in a farm in the middle of nowhere for 3 weeks.
And compared to playing live, and as you said, that interaction with the crowd.
It's not that. You're hearing the same things over and over again, and they don't even sound like songs to the end.
Especially as a drummer.
You're first. You're always first, and you're just playing to a click, just like.
Cursed.
It's awful.
Nightmares about slip tracks.
Yeah,
exactly. So you can't really tell us what's coming up, but something's coming up. So you're not going to become recluses for the next 12 months. We're going to see you live.
We'll be.
That's what's important, because these guys live, amazing. Don't let me down now.
I'll just have 3 more beers.
So brilliant. Thank you very much for spending some time with us, and good luck. Enjoy the show that you're putting on for us tonight. Which is a strange way around of putting it, but I know what I mean. But eye contact. I'm happy to throw it back. So definitely
I'll look for it.
Okay, so that's been ROCKFLESH.com at Damnation Festival with Ithaca. See you soon.